So when we talk about ask and inviting people into a conversation about change, be intentional, be personal, and be clear that you really do want to hear what they have to say. Doesn't mean you're promising them the world. It doesn't mean you're going to deliver everything they asked for, but they were part of that conversation from the beginning.
Welcome to Connected FM, a podcast connecting you to the latest insights, tools, and resources to help you succeed in facility management. This podcast is brought to you by IFMA, the leading professional association for facility managers. If you're ready to grow your network and advance in your career, go to ifma.org to get started. IFMA's Knowledge Library is the largest digital collection of quality content specific to the built environment. Featuring hundreds of articles, case studies, research reports, videos, and templates, it has helped thousands of facility professionals learn and leverage FM best practices. On January 9th, IFMA is launching a completely redesigned knowledge library. It's faster, more interactive, better organized, and easier to navigate and use on any device. It's got the same great content, but with a whole new experience. And now it's also 100% free to all IFMA members. New year and new and improved access to industry-leading information and thought leadership from the best and brightest in facility management. Visit knowledgelibrary.ifma.org to learn more. Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. I hope you had a nice break. And now that we're all in that new year, new you mindset, we thought it'd be nice to kick the year off with an episode on change management. So today, we'll hear from Lisa Whited, author of Work Better, Save the Planet, on the power and importance of communication in the workplace. Enjoy the episode.
Hi, this is Lisa Whited. I am the author of Work Better, Save the Planet. The Earth First Workplace is good for people, great for business. And I am delighted to be here to share a little bit about the work that I've done and the research in this book. I hope that you pick it up. It's accessible, it's practical, pragmatic, and it is backed up with data and research, but it's meant to be put into use. I thought today, of the 7 tenets that are in this book, I would talk about 2. One is language, and the other one is ask. So, when I talk about language, when we think about workplace, I'm sure you can imagine all the different words that are used. Hybrid is a great example. When we say hybrid, people have many different interpretations of what that is. Does hybrid mean I come in whenever I want? Does hybrid mean I have to be there 2 days a week? And workplace also has terms that are often misconstrued or have different meanings. You know, if you've heard the term open workplace, people cringe, they think the worst. And you might be describing a space that has lots of choice, like activity-based working with focus rooms and other types of work settings. This is why in a project, it's really important that we define the words and the meaning for the whole team before we start. And I'll give you a couple of examples. A couple of years ago, we had a client who was closing 2 offices, and they were going to lease space in a WeWork location. An entire floor dedicated to their company was going to be in a WeWork building. And we very quickly stopped calling it WeWork on the project team, and we addressed it by the address of the building. So instead of saying we're moving to this WeWork building, we said we're moving to 75 Washington Street. So that was an example of language and terminology needing to be really clear at the beginning of the project, and we carried it all the way through. Why did this matter? Well, if you're an employee hearing that your company is closing 2 locations and moving to WeWork, it might feel temporary, and you might have greater stress because you're concerned about what's going to happen. So by using the address, we were able to share that this was a permanent or more permanent decision for the team. The second example with language is working with a financial services CEO, and he had a very clear idea of what he wanted. He wanted to create a workspace that was connected and collaborative. And he said to all of us at the beginning, we are not ever using the term open, because as soon as you hear open, you start to get those negative articles about all the bad things with open workplace. So when he started to get those Wall Street Journal and New York Times and Atlantic articles about the negativity of open workplace, he simply said, this isn't what we're doing. We are creating a space that is connected and collaborative, and open is not describing what we're doing. So language matters, and there's a lot more in the book that gives you real pragmatic examples of how you can be aware of language and even create something like a language lexicon for your workplace when you start a project. Okay, the second idea from the book that I want to share is ask. And what do I mean by ask? Well, so many times when we are working on a project, we don't invite everybody into the conversation by design, right? You figure if we invite more people in, more voices, more opinions, it's going to be harder to manage. And yet, change shows us, successful change, that when all voices are heard in a very clearly um, controlled or highly facilitated manner, voices can be heard and you can still get positive positive outcomes. I mean, hopefully you get positive income too to go with the positive outcomes. So in Ask, when people are invited to participate in a session, here's what I recommend. Do not send an all staff email saying, please complete this survey or please attend this town hall. Instead, tailor your message, very personalized, and this can be done with team leaders and managers reaching out to their people saying, we really want to hear your voice. We really want you to be part of this conversation. However, if you choose not to participate, that's okay. We'll miss you, but we understand that you may choose not to. What you have done with an invitation like that is you've given people choice. You've given them a way to opt out. And chances are, once they're given that choice, people will opt in, but they want the choice. So when we talk about ask and inviting people into a conversation about change, be intentional, be personal, and be clear that you really do want to hear what they have to say. Doesn't mean you're promising them the world. It doesn't mean you're going to deliver everything they asked for, but they were part of that conversation from the beginning. So those are just a couple things I wanted to share from the book. There are the 7 tenets: purpose, language, less, ask, net zero, equity, and time. Those are the 7. It's a quick read. I hope you download it or purchase it on Amazon. You can find me at Lisa at workplace, T as in Tom, F as in Frank.com, or go to workbettersavetheplanet.com and you can find more information there.
Thank you to Lisa Whitehead for today's episode. I hope you got some practical takeaways you can implement in your work life to improve your communications and change management. And before we go, remember to mark your calendars January 9th. That's when IFMA is launching its completely redesigned Knowledge Library. Go to knowledgelibrary.ifma.org to sign up and be one of the first ones notified when the news site goes live. And of course, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Take care, and we'll see you on the next episode. Connected FM is a production of the International Facility Management Association. If you want more great content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/IFMA Global.